Hi there guys, so as you might have noticed from the introduction to this video, I'm starting a new series called The Phone Box. Basically the premise around that is all of the old phones that I've got in my phone box stored away, I'm going to revisit. I think there's quite a lot of nostalgia in old mobile phones and old technology, and yeah, this is episode 1 of that series. I'll keep that short and sweet. But today I'm going to be looking at the BlackBerry Curve 9300, which was also referred to as the BlackBerry Curve 3G. Now this one I've got here is actually in quite a good condition. I don't think the housing's snapping on properly on that back left hand corner, but it's pretty much in a very solid condition for the age of the device. So this BlackBerry Curve 9300 3G came out in August of 2010, so it is over 14 years of age now. I mean, as you can probably see, this was a normal size for phones back in that time, but it is absolutely tiny. I mean, I can more or less hide it in my arm. It's really, really small. So yeah, they used to be obviously a lot smaller than they are now. Yeah, absolutely tiny, this one. It was charged up, but it seems the battery's not the best, so I'm just having to give it a little bit of more juice to actually show you the actual phone and the workings of it. But yeah, who remembers the little iconic LED light at the top? That was absolutely iconic. It used to flash red if you were low on battery. It used to flash, I think it was amber if you had notifications. I really liked the little LED light. I think that was a really good feature. So whilst that's booting up, let's take a look around. I mean, you've got your answer call button, your menu button. This is a little optical trackpad, so this one isn't touchscreen, it's just a little optical trackpad. You've got your back or return button, and then your power and call button. You've got a tiny little QWERTY keyboard. I mean, my thumbs are too big for this. I'm sure I can work it, but it's not exactly ideal, is it? But it was manageable back in the day. I definitely used to have one of these. Yeah, if you do it from the side, you can sort of see a bit of separation between the screen and the phone, which I guess isn't the best, but I think that's what's to be expected with a phone of that age. So this BlackBerry has a 2.46 inch screen, which to today's standard is very small. It's 163 ppi, so it's not the best resolution by any means. It's got a 2 megapixel camera around the back with no flash whatsoever. So yeah, pretty basic camera, but I guess for back then it wasn't the worst. I think that was pretty standard back then. I'm sure there was better, but yeah, it still had the 3.5mm headphone jacks. Of course, how else would you listen to music back then? The charger, as you can see, it's charging now. That's a micro USB charger. The battery, if we just take off the back, I mean, back in the times when you could actually take the battery out and swap the battery with your friend, if your friend had more juice than you and was feeling particularly nice and they wanted to swap out the battery with you, that is 1150 milliamp hours. A lot of people also used to swap the backs. So for example, if someone had a black one, someone had a white one or a red one, people used to swap them so that they had different colors. That's a bit of nostalgia for you there, if you remember that one. I think it's also worth noting, I think this is a bit of a rarer occurrence, but back in the day, networks did used to brand the phones quite a bit. So down here in the UK, for example, you might see like O2 or Vodafone or not EE even, it was either Orange, T-Mobile, a little 3 symbol. So they used to brand it down at this little bit here. Back when network carriers used to lock all of the phones, which leads me on to, if this was locked, you could get unlock codes from eBay for 99p. I remember buying phones and then they were locked, wanting to put my SIM in and then having to go on eBay and unlocking it first. It used to be 99p for an unlocking code. So that's just another little bit of nostalgia there. So let's have a little scroll into the menus with this little optical trackpad, because like I say, this one wasn't a touchscreen. I remember all of the BBM sort of things where you could do your messenger. I mean, I think that's my old picture from absolutely years ago. I'm not sure, I'm not quite sure why that's up there. No reply. Oh my gosh, that is taking me back. Did I ever use this phone? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that's up there. To use the emails, BBM, everything like that has an internet service, you used to have BIS, BlackBerry Internet Services. And if you were a business or business customer, you'd have to have best, but they were sort of add-ons to the network that you'd have to pay particularly about £5 a month for, in order to, you know, use the actual internet on the phone. I just plugged it into charge again and the little clock came up, and I remember that happening. Yeah, so let's have another look at this phone and see what it's running. Let me see. I want to see device. Device versions. Let's see what this is running. So this is the BlackBerry 9300 3G, and it's running BlackBerry 6. So yeah, that's very old. Copyright 97 to 2010. RIM and BlackBerry families. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know it was Nuance. That's interesting. Anyway, moving on from that. So like I say, this phone is a 3G phone, but in the UK and the US, and probably a lot of places around Europe and the rest of the world as well, they have started shutting off the 3G services. So as you can see, I've just popped a SIM in and it's a Vodafone one. I am only getting Edge because obviously there isn't any 3G anymore. They've switched all of that off. So this can actually be used as a phone. I can obviously ring people on it and things like that. In terms of data, that is not going to be fast over GSM sort of Edge 2G networks. I mean, I can try load something, see if it works, but I'm not sure that it's going to be that quick. Let's try a Google search. Let's see how long, if at all, it actually loads the website up. Access denied. That's wonderful. Should we try .co.uk? I'm surprised I can actually type on this. Alright, let's give this a try. Access denied. Brilliant. Not sure why that's happening, but anyway. I tried connecting my Wi-Fi to the phone, but I'm not sure the reason why, but I don't think it's compatible anymore. It might be that the phone's so old and the Wi-Fi versions are so off. It did connect when I had BT. I've recently switched to hyperoptic and it's not having any of it, so I can't connect to Wi-Fi. But from what I remember when I used to go on the internet on this more recently, it would, I mean, I think the browser's so old that none of the websites supported it anyway. So even if you tried to load like YouTube, for example, it used to say it was unsupported anyway. So I think, yeah, this you can use at the minute for 2G for voice calls and texting. Anything else, I wouldn't be too certain that it's going to work for you. They are in the UK going to switch off 2G GSM by 2033, and by that point obviously that would make this phone completely useless, but it's nice to know that it can be used for voice calls up until that point, I suppose. But yeah, 2033 they're looking at shutting down all GSM networks 2G by then. So yeah, can still be used for a little bit if you really wanted to go back in time, but yeah. So I've done a lot of talking. Let me scroll through some menus and see what we've got. So we had our messaging. I remember that's not the same as text messaging. That used to be like a separate little bit. I think this requires BIS or BES. Yeah, so it's text messages that you could. So if I just compose a text, let me just put a random thing in. And then let me see how quick I am at this, because I'm probably really bad because my thumbs are too big. Brown fox jumped over. Oh, I'm pretty alright. Over the. I can't remember what it is. Let me just put brown gate. I have no idea, but you get the gist. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Got some little emojis. Who remembers all of those? Gosh, that's nostalgic. As bad as I thought. And then obviously this one was your option button, so you could do all sorts with your option button. It's a bit more like a little pocket computer, isn't it, really? So that's that. Then we had all of our contacts. You've got the browser, media. I mean, let's see. I think this came with a video. This phone did come with a video that I've just remembered, and I think it came with all of these phones. If you had a 9300, you'll have seen this. I think it's a will.i.am video, so let's see what this is. Oh, don't want to delete it. Dip dive. Right, interesting. Dipdive.com. Yeah, it was a BlackBerry video. We've got all of our photos, our ringtones, podcasts. Was podcasts even a thing back then? I don't remember them being such a thing as much as they are now. Video camera, voice notes, calendar, YouTube. The app doesn't work now. It just links you to the thing. BlackBerry App World, that definitely doesn't work anymore. I tried. Yeah, BlackBerry App World must close now. It's not a thing anymore. Camera. Apparently it's finding our location. Don't know why it's not working. Oh, it is. It's just that it's so bad it's not picking anything up. Let me take a picture. There we go. Just the little Xbox controller there. And then a nice little Ray vinyl beside it, which is signed, which I love. Viewing angles aren't that great. You can see me doing that. You can't really see it when it's beyond a certain angle. So, yeah. Camera's rubbish, can't lie. I mean, it's not the best lit conditions, but today's standards, that just wouldn't wash with it. But back then, I mean, you can see everything, can't you? You can kind of zoom in. Little optical. Yeah, it's all right. It's not the worst. Yeah, so that's that. And then we have clock, BBM, phone. Oh, the social feeds was like a bit where it put all of your social things together. So like your Twitter and your Facebook, your BBM, it was all in one place. I remember that. I never used it, but it was something there. Facebook, Twitter, IM. I think that's like AOL and everything like from years ago. Windows Live back in the day. Applications. You got memo pad, tasks, calculator, Word to go, slideshow to go, sheet to go, password keeper, files, and voice dialing. Interesting. Games, I'm going to come back to that. There's a Vodafone bit, navigation, Vodafone music, shop, setup, options, sound, manage connections, lock, power on and off, and help. Let's go into games because I know there were some absolute classics in here. Right, who remembers this absolute amazing game called Brick Breaker? I used to love this game. So let me play one and see if it's any good. 34 levels. I forgot it gets faster, doesn't it? The more that you do it. Okay, level 2. Shall see how far I get. As soon as I'm out, I'm out. I'm not going to play again, but if I'm good, we might be here all day. It's that thing where it sticks, and then you get to fire it wherever you want. This was a classic. I swear I used to spend hours on this. Oh, got 10 balls at once. Oh, it slowed down again at least. Level 3, we got it. Oh shit. It was actually so fun. Like, before social media, just doom scrolling and TikTok. This is literally what people used to do. I mean, I'm talking as if the people watching this don't already know, but if you're younger than that and you don't remember the BlackBerry days, then whoo, this was our entertainment. Right, okay, I'm done. But yeah, that's Brick Breaker. Word Mole, never used to really play that. Texas Hold'em, King 2. What else? Sudoku and Klondike. Never played that either. But yeah, that is literally just a little nostalgic, I don't know why it's still plugged in, a little nostalgic revisit of the BlackBerry Curve 3G, the 9300. I hope you enjoyed it and like the idea of this series. If you've got any suggestions on what old and nostalgic phones that you'd like to see on this series, let me know, and I'll probably be able to source it from eBay really cheaply. Yeah, but that's more or less everything. If you want more of this, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribed, and yeah, thank you for watching.